Bowls Australia acknowledges the traditional owners and custodians of the land in which this stream is produced. We pay our respects to all First Nations people and acknowledge elders past and present.
Session 2 of Day 2 here at the 2024 Australian Schools Championships here at the City of Geelong Bowls Club. Val Febo back with you for this clash between New South Wales and Victoria. It's Reese Young and Charles Grebert up against Josh Leszczynski and Jacob Brighton. Very much looking forward to this. And alongside me, Brett Hughes has made the trip down yesterday. Good to have your company, Club Support Manager here at Bowls Australia and Head of Club Support. And Chris Evans, we've pulled in the big dogs here, the General Manager of Participation and Programs. Chris and Brett, welcome.
Thanks, Val. Pleasure to be here, and what a great facility for this school event.
Thanks, Val. Certainly great to be here today and looking forward to a fantastic day of bowls.
Chris, did you drive up this morning?
I did.
How was the drive? Not too long. You're coming from the complete other side of Melbourne, so
yes, from the eastern side of Melbourne, but a good run down. It's a bit blowy and windy down here today, but the sun is starting to peek through, which is great.
A bit is an understatement. If you're watching in the previous match, you would have seen a camera go over while we were live. Pretty much just went down mid shot. Big gust of wind, but very much looking forward to this contest here. And we had Josh on the stream yesterday, skipping in the triples. Reese Young, haven't had a chance to stream her yet, but we know the pedigree that she possesses. She is a wonderful bowler. Has made the final of the Australian Indoor Championships. That was last year. Did that at 16 years of age, Brett.
Yeah, no, she's a fantastic bowler, and heard a lot about Reese, and obviously under the watchful eye of Michael Wilkes down in Merimbula, and part of the Dolphin squad down there.
Leading up against Josh, there was a late change. Bailey Randell was going to be in this team, but Matt Atobe came up and let us know that Josh would be coming into the team. Wants to be a pilot.
Well, I just had a bit of a squiz at that, Val. He's a Mad Hawk supporter.
Yep.
And, as you said, wants to be a pilot, but done his first solo at the age of 15 years of age.
Unbelievable.
So, not bad. I don't think he'll be flying me back from Avalon, but it won't be too long before he's, I'm sure, behind the plane.
No. Found out yesterday, and the people that watched would have known that he goes to the same high school that I did at Penley and Essendon Grammar, and both had the same form room teacher in Year 10.
And he followed the Hawks and you went Richmond.
Yeah. Oh, it was good for a time. At the moment, probably rather be in his shoes, but we won't hold that against him. Jacob Brighton, the Victorian skip, plays out of Moama, and you would have seen him actually on the TV. He's done a lot of TV marking at the BPL, and he absolutely loves bowls. Qualified for the Australian Indoor Championships in 2024. Made the final of the Victorian Indoor Championships event that they held for all of those respective winners.
He's going really well, Val, and he's doing a fair bit with Kevin Anderson down there at Moama. So Kevin's got his watchful eye, and Stewie Way as well, so apparently all good reports. And
he's just beaten Travis Moran 21-14 in a singles match. That is a ridiculously good win.
Travis has been killing it in New South Wales, so that's a big scalp, yeah.
And Chris, you've been in the role for almost a year now at Bowls Australia. Has it been quite a year, or?
Yeah, it certainly has.
Yeah. But has it been a year yet, or?
About 9 months.
9 months. Okay,
months.
Yeah. And how have you found it?
Yeah, look, really enjoying it. It's a huge sport. Really strong national footprint. Plenty of opportunities to grow and develop the sport. And initiatives like this, a National Schools Championships, is just one of many great things the sport has to offer.
Did you anticipate the footprint that bowls had. Like, when I started, I didn't understand really how big this sport was, but it is ginormous.
It is. It's huge. 1,800 clubs across the country, 150,000 pennant players nationally. It is a big sport, and compared to some of the other football codes, the likes of rugby, it's probably twice as big.
I think that the thing that stood out to me when I first started was to hear that there's more bowls clubs than the amount of McDonald's and Subways in Australia combined.
Yeah, and quite often they're the centre of the community, so they really create that sense of belonging and a good meeting place for communities, particularly in regional and rural areas.
Certainly is. So 2 to New South Wales to kick off proceedings here. Playing 16 ends here in this pairs match, and an hour and a half time limit as we've had throughout this day and a half so far.
I assume, Val, both Reese and Charles, being from Merimbula, would have played a fair bit together.
Yeah.
So they'd have a good combination going.
And it's what we saw yesterday with Chanel Chakouch and Jasmine Smith. Both of those two play at St. John's together. Yeah. Very good friends.
And I think it's important to notice too, both these kids, Reese and Charles, come from a Christian school. So this is the first time we've had the sort of all schools where the Christians have come in with the CHS and the Independents in New South Wales. So, yeah, first time that they've had the opportunity to play in this, so that's fantastic.
And talking about this, that obviously the last couple of years there's only been 2 states that have participated in this, but for both of you, Chris and Brett, to have 5 states and grow it by 3 in the space of a year, how has it all come about and how has it been done? Because I imagine a lot of work would have been put into this.
Yeah, look, Val, it's something School Sport Australia have had bowls there for people to play, but certainly they would not recognise it until we've had 4 states playing, which is the same for all their schools. And look, bowls New South Wales, together with School Sport New South Wales and School Sport Vic and Bowls Vic have done a fantastic job with the promotion of this. So they've always been thereabouts. We were lucky enough to get Bowls Queensland to jump on board with School Sports Queensland endorsing them. So a really big thank you to Brett Wilkie and to Billy Cornells who've jumped on there and been able to get it really promoted and get a side from Queensland. But also got to really take my hat off to the guys in WA and SA. So I know with our club support manager, Brett Herbert, has worked closely with Lucy Tyler from Bowls SA and all the team there at Bowls SA. And without any school competition in that state, we've been able to build some little pockets of competitions around the state. Brett's done an absolutely brilliant job at that. So then they've been able to form some competitions and some trials where they've been able to select a team from SA. And then the same in WA with Troy Canane, the club support manager, and Clive Adams and Ken Pride have been right behind it from Bowls WA, along with their School Sport Association guys as well. So, earlier on in the year, Gavin Holburn used to be the convener. He's now at Marylands doing a fantastic job with the juniors over there. And Michael Devine's now been appointed as a National Sports Advisor from New South Wales. And Andrew Comley, the Championship conveyor from Victoria, has been absolutely brilliant at working with everybody. And we formed a working party about 6 months ago and said, rightio, how can we get bowls on the table, get a seat at that table and get the states involved. So, to get it from 2 to 5 is just been an absolutely brilliant effort. And you can see the camaraderie out there with all the kids, the competitiveness. And I think what this has got that's a little bit different to our nationals and everything like that is this is a participation sport.
Yep.
So it's about some of these kids playing today, won't get the opportunity to play in a national final. But they have now through this all school. So it's a brilliant concept in getting people involved in the game.
Oh, it sure is. And we're going to see at the Nationals in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to see a lot of these players there. But, some of them will go home and just enjoy or, relish in the fact that they've played with some of the best under-18 prospects in this country, which is so impressive.
Oh, it is, Val. And I think, too, like, if you had a look at the start of the opening of this to we had a player experience for the kids because we wanted every single person to get it, and to have the likes that we did here with BA Pathways coach Ian Ewing, up and coming Jackaroos, Sophie Kurzman and Tyson Cromie, Maddie Flapper. We all know
he was doing a driving exhibition, and we were all watching in awe, just trying to get as many tips as we could. And I'm quite a novice, but I like to think that I can have a good drive on me at times.
Yeah, so Maddie Flapper and obviously Billy Cornell's both played for Australia. And Nicole, former ladies Vic coach. So, plenty of people there. But, so the kids have absolutely loved it. The feedback's been great. And, the competition's really good. And looking forward to, the games today and then the finals tomorrow.
Yeah, the finals are going to be fantastic. And then the All-Australian team will be picked, which is going to be awesome as well. And Jacob Brighton now with it all to do after a brilliant shot there from Charles Grebert.
I think it's pretty close to shot, mate. I don't know if
maybe
it's a mighty effort.
Yep. Reese. Oh, it is 2-1 to Victoria. So they're on the board. I thought that Charles might have wrestled it back, but they're on the board. Always good to get that first little settler there.
I think this match will go down to the wire. It's it's 4 really good players, 4 experienced players. They've all got really good coaches, come from good clubs, and I think we should be in for a great game here.
Well, yeah, 2 coming from Merimbula, 1 coming from Sunbury, and then the other one coming from Moama. All 3 of those clubs are absolutely sensational. We just lose the jack there. So New South Wales will control the length once more.
Really trying conditions, isn't it? It's under the dome here. You really notice that wind coming through. So the quality of bowls, considering the conditions they're playing in, is really first class. And you've noticed from yesterday, from day one to today, how much they've improved. So they're starting to get the conditions under their belt.
Because it's difficult. We even saw in the first match where the wind just pushed the bowl and didn't allow it to turn on its bias, and it's quite difficult. Chris, what have you made of the competition so far from what you've seen? And to see so many kids just enjoying themselves in this sport, it's quite refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, and Brett spoke before about the camaraderie between the states. That's fantastic to see, but I think the most pleasing thing is the mix of age. We've certainly got some older students and athletes here, but it's fantastic to see some younger athletes come through the system as well, particularly from South Australia and Western Australia, so great to see.
There's a 14-year-old in our last match, and a couple of people that have only been bowling for 6 months. And from people, we learned about a place called Quorn, which is like 4.5 hours away from Adelaide. And
I thought it was something you ate, but apparently it's a place. How good's that?
It's spelled with a QU.
Oh,
yeah. So
there you go.
it's never would have heard of it before this week, but it's great. We're bringing people together from all corners of the country and all sorts of towns.
That was a fantastic bowl by Josh too. That's really good bowl in these conditions.
Locke's just gone in my ear and said all corners of the country. He's quite happy with himself.
Yeah. I like it, Locke.
He's done the George Costanza. So Josh Leszczynski now trying to get himself further into this head up against Reese Finn Young. Josh lives out in East Keilor in Melbourne. It's always nice commentating a guy from an area around where you grew up, so you sort of know a little bit more about it.
You see Reese stay into that hand now. She played the first one on the backhand, but second 2 have been on the forehand.
Reese has taken the under-18 game by storm over the last couple of years. We finished, it's funny where you see the periods of domination with some bowlers. It was Kira Burke, then it went into Kate Arjun-Bowden, who was dominating the under-18s, and now it's become the little battle between Reese Young and Amity Bickley.
Yeah.
And Reese won the Australian Open title in 2023, was absolutely dominant, and then did it again at the Nationals last year as well.
Yeah, but no, she's playing unreal at the moment.
Couldn't defend the title at the Australian Open this year. Lost to Akasha Fortune, the eventual winner.
He's on a fair line. He might be just under the bowl.
Did you fly into Avalon Airport yesterday?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so...
I don't think I've ever been there.
No, you're not missing out on much, but, there was planes and people.
Yeah.
Had done the job. It was close to Geelong, so...
From the freeway, it does just look like a big shed.
Yeah, it pretty well is. But no, look, it was good. It's only a 20-minute drive from Geelong, so...
Very close.
Made sense, but it was... I felt for the people playing bowls because the plane was all over the place with the wind, so...
It was full on yesterday.
Yeah.
So I can't speak from experience having not commentated in Perth, but I heard at the Nationals last year it was blowing an absolute gale at Sorrento and at Warwick as well. Jacob Brighton, very handy bowler.
Cracking shot.
And a little nod to his fan base as well. The Vics look like they're really getting along, don't they?
Yeah. I think Charles has got to be a little bit careful here. I don't think he's got anything behind, so you just have to play with a little bit of weight, maybe a foot to 2 feet of weight, see if he can get down to that jack or sit that bowl. He's on a fair line.
Very close. Oh, mighty effort. Probably cut that down to 1. 2. Victoria take the lead. Can they keep the jack on the rink? They lost it going into the last end, so New South Wales have still controlled all 3 ends in the length. Can Josh Leszczynski keep this one on? That's going pretty quickly. That is not going to stop, so New South Wales are going to control the length once more. Can't stress the importance, Brett, of a jack roll.
No, you can control the end. It's pretty important. On these greens, it can be hard too. So sometimes the jack can roll quicker than what the actual bowl does when you're on the carpet. So you get a feel from that when you're leading up. I know we spoke about the dominance that Reese has been having in the under-18s in the females, but I was lucky enough to be involved with Bowls New South Wales and CSM Jason Pinnock last week in the Inter-School Challenge, the finals in New South Wales. And I'll tell you now, there's a couple of young ladies there that played absolutely brilliant, so a couple of names to watch out for. Katie Astley. I know Katie won a big tournament down at Moema, I think it was.
Yep.
Not that long ago in the singles. And a 14-year-old Annabelle Teague from Parks. They actually got runner-up to young Hennessy in the competition. But Annabelle's here as well, and yeah, they're 2 up-and-coming stars from the New South Wales team.
Streamed Annabelle yesterday in the afternoon, and her leading was exemplary.
Okay.
She just got on with her job and was never really off the money. It was very impressive. So
very consistent. Yeah, I don't think it'll be too long before a couple of the big clubs in Sydney find out about her, and she's given an opportunity to further her career.
When you say big clubs, they are ginormous. We were talking yesterday, Chris, and you saw this for the first time with me at conference a couple of weeks ago. St John's Park, it is just massive.
It is huge club. Quite impressive, actually, in terms of the facilities, the bowls program there. World class.
I was amazed with that 5-story car park they've got. Unbelievable. That's a nice finish from Reese Young.
A bowl by Reese. We've seen Jacob put down 2 really good bowls, and Reese has just answered with that. I just think for our viewers too, Val, the quality of these bowls in these conditions is unreal. So it's blowing a gale here, so to be able to get them that close is, testament to the...
Well, it's what we alluded to yesterday, and because a lot of people would have been saying, hang on, how are these the best young prospects? The conditions were ridiculous yesterday. It did not stop blowing at all.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were getting so close and as close as they did, and Reese Young again.
Geez, that's a cracking bowl. The thing going for the VICs, Val, they have got second wood, and they've got quite a few behind the head. So 3 bowls behind the head, I'm pretty sure they'd be searching up, looking for contact on the shot bowl or the jack.
What Jacob would be happy with what Josh has done as the lead, he has not dropped one short at all. And as a skip, that's there's nothing more you could ask for.
So we'll see what Jacob can do here. As you can see, he's looking around at the wind because he's behind us pretty hard.
It's a bit different to the conditions at Moama.
He's just going to sail under. So he's got to use a fair bit of weight to get underneath the front bowl. So he's tried to play it with control weight, but he may need to go a lot quicker. Yeah, that's in a great spot.
Already a lot of cat and mouse being played so far.
I think you might see a bit more weight here.
It's crashed into Reese's.
Well, that's dead.
It's gone out of play. That is going to still be 2 to New South Wales on the back of the rink, I believe. No, it could be 1 to Victoria here.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Charles. Oh, it is.
Oh, that's 1 to Victoria. That's a good hit. But sometimes you got to miss in the right areas. He spilled it out. And then I think that might be one of Josh's that's sitting as shot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And this wind might have a big impact on where this bowl finishes up. Maybe not. He might have just gone right underneath. Has he done enough? This is really nice and measured from Jacob Brighton. Just waiting for the wind to die down. Doesn't mind it. And he slipped through the gap. As Michael Hollywood Sorensen would say, holes are made for bowls, Cyril.
Jeez, he's had some good calls over the years, hasn't he?
He has. We do miss him.
Doing great things at Helensvale.
Yep. Absolute juggernaut of a club. And again, finding the gap.
So 1 to New South Wales.
Yep.
So I think important, Reese, here, she gets that mat down and gets that jack right to pick that length.
Well, they've had control over every single end so far. Victoria losing the 2 jacks that they've had the control of. Reese has obliged and said, well, I'm not tossing it in the ditch.
So gone a fraction shorter with this one, just a little bit. Probably about 6 feet shorter than what they've been playing.
Chris, having a look at these rinks, they're a bit different to the ones that we play our Thursday Survivor on at Darebin.
Yeah, just a little bit, Val.
A lot quicker.
But fantastic facilities.
Yeah.
Sensational dome. Great facilities.
When you came out to one of these clubs for the first time and saw just how big a lot of them are, like I remember the first time I saw one, how shocked I was. Was it the same for you as well, just to be like, oh wow, like this is a serious place?
Yeah, and I think all the supporting amenity is what's really impressive. Like the bowls clubs around the country, they're big clubs, the majority of them, particularly in the larger towns, and like I said before, play a really critical role in terms of supporting the community and a place for gathering. So, brilliant.
And the way that the clubs promote inclusivity as Reese Finn Young, just it's another touch-up. Might run out of chalk spray in this match, but the way that they promote inclusivity and just for players of all shapes and sizes to come out and, get involved, it's so impressive.
Yeah, it certainly is. I've been certainly most impressed with the para component of the sport, Val. Certainly fantastic to see the inclusivity in terms of our para bowlers, right from a participation perspective, but all the way through to the high performance program as well. It's certainly leading the industry in my view.
Great shooting from Reese Finn Young, nothing short of the jack.
Just on that note too, Chris, I know that's something that we're pretty keen to do here next year, is to introduce the all abilities in the para. We've actually got a championship meeting tonight to see how we best go about that.
Great bowl there from Josh, as you can see, just comes in and got around, sat Reese Finn Young's bowl, stayed for shot. Brilliant shooting.
You see a little kid in the grandstand rugged up in the blanket?
I did see that. Is it an Woody or no? I think it's just a normal blanket.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I've got 5 layers on myself this morning.
Yeah, I'm built for comfort, and I've got a few on too. Don't worry about that.
I don't mind that, built for comfort.
I did leave me beanie at home though. That was a bit of a disaster, but anyway.
I've got an Australian Open beanie on. This was the best purchase I made over that fortnight at the AO.
Yeah. You wouldn't think you'd need a beanie for Queensland, but certainly handy back here in Victoria, that's for sure.
Yeah, you don't need it on the Gold Coast. That's 100% for sure. Unless, having said that, we did do a night or like a late afternoon session at Helensvale, and it does get quite cold.
Yeah, I think that one will be in the count as well.
It's a good bowl.
I see him be confident here. Any touch on the jack's only going to go back to Reese.
That one, well, this is...
Gets another one in.
Yep. This is dangerous for Charles. He needs to do something here because they're on the verge of going down by a number. 3 apiece. Just on an hour to go in this contest.
Looks pretty hard to get to too. I think Val, he might have to use... a yard to 6 feet of weight down there on his forehand, come underneath that front one.
Yeah, because they can't go too big either because he doesn't have the tee. And just missing high, so an opportunity now for Jacob Brighton. He's got the real estate around. This has been a great head from Victoria. It's nice of his teammate there, Jacob Cartwright, just to run over and hand him the bowl. Coming around, he wanted to turn, but that wind is not going to allow that to happen.
Straight up the line.
Yeah. And that's a prime example of how you can see wind affecting the bowls. When I heard that wind can affect them, I thought, oh no, you're dreaming. Bowls are so heavy they can cut through, but absolutely not.
You did mention Jacob picking up the bowl there, and we've seen that, pretty much all week here. The teams getting together and doing a bit of a chant, and I think it means quite a lot, though. I think they'd love to see each other, their teammates being picked in this All-Australian team, and obviously win the big prize at the end.
Believe that was a 3 to Victoria.
I think it was, Val.
Yeah, they didn't really give too many indications. Oh no, don't tell me he's lost the jack again. A wry smile from Josh Leszczynski. So 6-3 in favour of Victoria. They have still not controlled a length. Reese Young, she knows how to roll the jack, that's for sure. She'll go back to that length that we played pretty much. Josh now, his bowls have been fantastic. It's just, that lighter jack just causing a little bit of havoc. And look at this, he's going to finish in a pretty good home.
He's bowling very well.
The way he's corrected the jack roll has been quite amazing. Great finish. Let's see where this one ends up from Reese Young. That's going to drop short.
Really good to see the parents here too, Val. A lot of parents here supporting their kids, and also noticed a few people in the crowd. School teacher from New South Wales, former New South Wales player Peter Foster, who's been heavily involved, and also Nathan Bush, Victorian representative from the Dandelion Club. I've seen him out here supporting a couple of his players as well, so fantastic to see.
It is sensational, and seeing teachers get involved and seeing the parents coming to support their kids. That's what this is all about. And the kids can showcase as Reese Young again nestles the jack.
Having a great battle here.
Lead battle is fascinating. Got the jack as well, but again, he'll end up behind, and those will be in good homes.
Yeah, 3 bowls behind the jack again, so his skipper will be very happy with that. Reese will be just trying to get past her white bowl if she can.
Bad effort.
Handy bowl. Could be close to second.
Being here at the City of Geelong Bowls Club, they've done a great job, and Lee, the bowls coordinator, he's a star. Nothing's too much trouble.
Look, they've been fantastic from day one when they said they'd host it. Nothing's too big. They've been absolutely brilliant at making sure it goes ahead and making sure not only the players have got what they need, but also the parents and officials.
Yep.
See him on a fair line here.
Jacob Brighton. And these are some of the best exponents of young bowlers that we have in this sport. Reese Young is heavily touted as a future Jackaroo. She's already in the Pathways squad. And she speaks really well. She joined me for an interview on Without Bias a few weeks ago, and for someone that's so young, she's confident, she speaks well, and just such a polite and humble human being.
Yeah.
And, having a scalp over Kay Moran in the Australian indoor semi-finals is pretty handy. She's a Com Games silver medalist and Scottish representative, so knows her way around a rink.
No, definitely. As I said, they've got Michael Wilkes at Merimbula, former Australian player, and, does a fantastic job, not only with their coaching, but also, with their mentoring and their public speaking. So, we got a lot of
public speaking as well.
Yeah, there's, that's a big part of it these days when you go away and you're playing.
Yep, I like that.
You're playing a tournament or a state championship and you win. It can be pretty daunting when you're given a microphone in front of a lot of people. So, it's always handy to...
Well, it helps in my role anyway, because if I've got to speak to them, then they know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's for sure. Just going to hold.
Close. Oh, he's knocked his own out. Charles Grebert now trying to add in a second. This is going to have to be dead weight. Trail could be at a disadvantage. I like this coming around on the forehand.
How's the legs?
It's going to
played it well.
Wow.
That
what a cracking shot.
Is a sublime effort from Charles Grebert. To be able to get a second there, he needed to be precise with his weight, and he got there.
Brilliant. Yeah, that weight was really good. Yeah, you couldn't do too much damage with that weight, even if you did get a bit of the bowl onto the jack.
6-5 in favour of Victoria. New South Wales have controlled every single length that we've had out of the 6, despite Victoria winning half the ends. 16 end pairs match as opposed to the regular 18 that we usually play. An hour and a half time limit. And what I've liked the most about this, guys, is how, despite having quicker time limits, the players have still taken their time on the mat. They haven't tried to rush.
Yeah. Yeah, really good start there again by Reese. And how are you feeling, Val? The man beside you, Lockie, second last day today?
I am shattered beyond belief. I'm trying to keep a straight face, but the tears will come tomorrow. Oh, well, I've got the two. Actually, you both joined me on Without Bias last night, you and Locke. At the late hour of 10:30. It's all up on Bowls Australia's YouTube channel now. Well, actually, it will be in... I scheduled it for 11:30, so it will be in 7 minutes.
Yeah, no, pleasure, and it's really good to talk about this championship and obviously the first day of play.
But yeah, it's been great fun. Locke and I have spent a hell of a lot of time together over the last 3.5 years since I started, and a lot of times in the car on the Gold Coast or in Birmingham.
Yep. Oh, you'd have some stories.
Yeah, he probably still has a Val-shaped handprint on his arm from when Alan Fyfe and Christina Christic won gold.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. Another really solid bowl from Reese Finn Young. How impressive is it, Chris, to see, people that are, they're so young, but they are performing at such a high level.
Yeah, they certainly are, Val. It's great to see. I think this one's going to go down to the wire, Val.
I think so. We alluded to it beforehand, all 4 of these bowlers are very high quality.
Yeah, really good end by Reese, and Just with knocking that bowl over, it's made it a little bit difficult now for the Victorian team. It's the way that wind's blowing, it's going to be hard to get back to that bowl on that hand, so he may have to change hands.
Might be a case of, they've got the Bacchus bowl there, so an ability to go for the tee as that wind just swirls under this canopy.
Yeah, last thing Charles will want to do is give something for him to work off, so you can see that he's gone around the back, but possibly still in the count. So
Cover and count.
Yeah, good bowl.
If you Jacob Brighton, are you having a crack at this just to try and force it back to the tee?
Oh, I'm trying to draw a second shot. Yeah, if I'm Jacob here, he could be possibly 4 down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at this stage of the game and the score, and it's a difficult shot. So, yeah, if he can get second shot, just try and come around that front bowl, and hopefully the wind doesn't keep him out too much and he can get back to the shot bowl.
It's kind of stopped. I'll tell you what, he's not a mile away here, Jacob Brighton. He couldn't possibly.
Wow.
What a shot. You just said that wind dropped.
Yep.
It was still.
Yeah.
That was as good as it gets. Probably the bowl of the week so far. Jacob Brighton, have a look at this come in.
That's a cracking bowl.
To find that little gap, Nick Brett, eat your heart out. Nick Brett, of course, will be representing the Gold Coast Hawks at the Bowls Premier League. He'll make his debut. Hopefully bring some of those fireworks. Here we go. Charles Grebert very close. BPL 20 not far away now. 12 teams, 36 of the best bowlers on the planet.
Yeah, very exciting. Love that format of the game, and you know, the world's best playing.
And at Pine Rivers too, it is raucous, it's loud, it's boisterous, especially on those Thursday nights.
Yeah, they're a great facility, and they're doing some renos there now at the moment. So, talking to Ryan Burnett, the Bowls manager up there, not long ago. So, they should be just about finished them renovations and right in time for the BPL.
Who's your early tip, Val, for the BPL?
Oh, very, very hard to decide. I reckon Moama's always a shot, but I'm actually going to go for the debutant, the Geelong Jets.
Wow.
They've got Aaron Wilson, Paul Foster. They've come out swinging, and the Sydney Saints are going to do pretty well as well. Dawn Heyman's in the form of her life. There has been a change to one of the teams this week, and Lainey McGorman has come into the Adelaide Pioneers squad. Caitlin Inch unavailable due to work commitments, so...
The big shoes to fill.
Yep.
With Caitlin, she's an absolute superstar, so...
Lainey, reigning Australian Champion of Champions winner. She'll be representing Australia later this year for the World Champion of Champions.
Yeah, well, good replacement.
Certainly is. Really good bowls mind as well. Looking forward to seeing Nick Cahill as well. He'll have his family down there for the Melbourne Extreme. We have a chance to get up there, Chris, for BPL.
Yeah, I'd love to, Val. Yep.
Try and get up for the Thursday night if you can.
Now, there's one question on everyone's mind here, Val.
Yep.
Will this Jack stay on the rink?
We're about to find out. Oh, it's going pretty quick. Come on, stop. He wanted to stop. Josh Leszczynski.
He's going to stop. That's a good
one.
one.
And he gets a nice little round of applause from Jacob Brighton as well.
You see a big smile.
He's kept it on. They got the one in the last end, so they're up by 2, 7-5. But that's probably the best result of the day for Josh Leszczynski. Let's see if he can back it up. I'll tell you what, this is not a bad effort, but this can stay on.
Handy start.
It's a good home. That is right on the edge. Look at the smile on Jacob Brighton's face. He's having the best time here.
Yeah.
There's Billy Fun and Coffee yesterday. We
Pretty
streamed him. He was absolutely loving life. Chanel Shakouch and Jasmine Smith, they look like they were enjoying themselves. It's been a great week so far.
See, a pretty good starter there too by Reese on the change of a bit of a longer end, so not a bad start. Yeah, I don't know whether to stay with the Sydney Lions, mate, or jump on the new side.
What do you live closer to?
They're both pretty similar. Always loved the Lions. They've been great over the years, but great to see St John's Park in there, and Anthony Cotty, the
he's a gem.
is doing an absolutely wonderful job over there. And got a few favourites. Benny Twist come and helped us with the Inter-School Challenge last week at for Bowls New South Wales, so soft spot there for Benny and Dawn, and I'll cheer it both. Hopefully an all-Sydney final.
There you go. Well, we've had a Melbourne Pulse and Extreme final. Now we've got a chance to have Sydney Lions and Saints. The Lions, the equal most successful franchise in tournament history, winning 4 with the Tweed Heads Ospreys. And then you've got the Moama Steamers and the Melbourne Pulse on 3.
She needs a clear run.
That's a bit of a disaster, but still the skips bowls to come.
Yep.
We saw so many of those yesterday in the Western Australia versus New South Wales pairs match that we streamed. The amount of little wicks that the wind was creating and lucky results, it was unbelievable.
Well, Reese has just got to put that behind her. She had really good weight. Pretty hard to pick that line. But, look, there's an opportunity there that she's got the next 3. So, opportunities there for Charles.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, when those bits of bad luck happen, I think this is what a lot of the coaches are trying to drill into these kids. You know, it's all about positivity. And the communication has been there. The smiles have been there. The body language is positive, and that's what it's all about. That's what the HP coaches will tell you. It's what the state coaches will tell you.
Yeah, Jacobs put that in a really good position. Actually, I don't know if he meant to, but sort of blocks off that shot for Charles to get that out. He can still swing underneath Reese's bowl, but Jacobs been pretty impressive today.
He has been, and he's just knocked off, as we said before, Travis Moran, the Australian Open under-18 runner-up. Travis won the Junior Golden Nugget as well, which is a very prestigious tournament to win for an under-18.
For sure.
Both of the Nugget champions here, Jasmine Smith and Travis. It was good to see him put that AO result behind him to go on and win that Nugget, because the AO, he would have been crushed after losing that, and 18-8 up, and Kobe Cromie comes back, but he's put it behind him. He's a quality bowler, and Warilla have a gem there in Travis Moran. A great young fella too. And
they would have got behind him, Jeremy there. And
they did. Gary Kelly, Corey Wedlock, and I think Nathan Black were all there watching him.
Yeah.
Which was so good.
Yeah, no, they would have given him a fair bit of support. And one thing in bowls, mate, you really learn is you do lose a few more than you win. So you've got to take it on the chin and take something out of it, and just make sure you learn from your.
Yeah. Well, unless your name is Aaron Sheriff.
True.
Guys won pretty much everything there is to win. So there's a bit of a wall building here. That jack is going to be perilously hard to get to. Let's see what Jacob Brighton can do. He's had a really good match so far.
Just got to slow down. It looks a bit on the pacey side here, Val.
Yeah, that's Not going to stop. He doesn't want to knock that one at the back into the ditch, or if he stays there, it's okay. And he has.
Geez, Charles was quick on the mat there.
I've noticed that with a lot of them, a lot of them are just quick. Maybe it's whether they've watched Aaron Wilson or Corey Wedlock.
He just needs to reach this. He needs to give it a big bump, but he isn't. Just under.
Found the gap, but
yeah.
Bit of a fortunate result for Victoria there, but they do get the extra one, and it's an 8-5 buffer for them. Surely that's not rain coming through.
It's either rain or snow.
A few little drops there, Val.
Maybe a sun shower or something like that. And has he done it twice in a row? Oh, yes. Josh Leszczynski. And now he's got a fan club. Celebrate the jack rolls, Cyril.
Yeah, no, he's got it down pat now. As we said, he's been bowling extremely well. He's got a really nice delivery on him. Fairly handy starter again.
Josh bowls out of Club Sunbury, which is just down the highway from East Keilor and not too far, about a 20-minute drive. Bit far from Merimbula or Moama.
Yeah. Some of these kids have had a fair bit of travel over the last couple of months, and then you've also got the Nationals coming up. So big shout out to all the parents. They do a fantastic job.
Oh, they do.
With their kids and getting them to events. So I don't know what we'd do without our parents. So, he's cracking bowl. He's just sat Reese out.
Reese Finyoung.
She's wondering.
Wow.
What a shot.
Just brilliant. It looked on the money the whole time, didn't it?
You know, it's good when your offsiders sit beside you and just goes, wow.
Yeah.
Love it. It's pretty to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You guys have actually probably had the privilege of sitting here for the best match that we've had so far. The quality.
It's a good reply too, Val.
He's got it behind. That gives Jacob Brighton a hell of a lot to work with. Reese Finyoung, what has she got in reply? Can she put in another one? She's gone out a little bit wider, but the weight.
She can duck under and get third, but she's just going to hang out. You see, when that wind comes up, it is so hard to get back. And you've seen, going back a couple of ends ago, Jacob played that perfect bowl on that same hand. You know, same sort of thing. And the wind had dropped and it allowed Jacob to be able to get back. But that time you could see Reese's bowl really hanging and fighting against the wind.
Yeah, and you can see sort of when the bowl is on that trajectory of its bias, and then it just stays out straight. It's incredible how much the wind can play.
It can play. It can play really on the minds of the participants.
Yep.
Because they've done everything right from their angle, but it's Mother Nature.
She's very fickle at times.
Yeah. I think he's got to change his hand here and play his forehand and just see if he can beat that back bowl. Nothing for tight.
So got 36 minutes left. Interesting to see how we go in terms of time and whether we get the full allotment in. We missed out on one end this morning.
Yeah, they're going pretty quick. So
it's what we discussed yesterday's Jacob Brighton. That's a very good home.
What a good shot.
Falls in. Be very close.
He's very quick on the mat. I know Reese was trying to tell him something and he'd already let the ball go. It was halfway up the green.
It's funny, though, like you see, and we spoke about it yesterday, Corey Wedlock, Aaron Wilson, Aaron Sheriff, all three of them are extremely fast on the mat, and it probably does rub off on a lot of these junior bowlers because they see their heroes and their idols, being so quick.
Yeah.
So they decide to do it as well.
Yeah.
Also frees up decision making because if you've got a quick routine, you can decide what you need to do from the other end, but each to their own, really.
Yeah.
It's all about what works for you and what's repetitive.
So Jacob playing a little bit of weight here, looking for the bowl, looking for the shot bowl.
Got the jack.
Oh.
Does he follow it in?
Yeah, no, I think it's Charles' last bowl. That's a shot.
So the jack, yep. So now he's just got to draw to the ditch, possibly, to try and get two. Good effort there from Jacob Brighton.
This guy's got a bit of curry on it.
Yeah, that's not pulling up. So one more to New South Wales. It's 8-6 after 9. 7 ends to play. And we are none the wiser as to who is going to hold on in this contest. We've got 33 minutes to get through the next 7 ends. It's going to be tight. We have a bit of a lunch break, and after that, the afternoon sessions starting at 1 o'clock. Harry Coleman up against Riley Garrick. Really looking forward to that singles match. Riley, the 2023 Australian Open Under-18 Boys Singles Champion, and Harry Coleman, a really good up-and-coming prospect in Victoria. Then after that, 2:45 p.m. local, New South Wales and Queensland in some triples action. So got plenty to whet the appetite for the rest of the afternoon.
That singles match, that will be a cracker.
Cannot wait. Riley Garrick has won so many things over the last year and a half. Did the double in 2023, AO and Australian Under-18 Championships at the Nationals.
Yeah.
And he's a great young kid too. He's been tutored by Caitlin Inch. His brother Cody is a very good bowler himself.
Yep.
Plays out at Capalaba with the Nelson boys, and Kepler Vessels up there as well.
Yeah, it's a good little club. I've heard a lot about it. I actually got to play the boys, the Nelson boys and the Garricks up at Pine Rivers last year at the Turkey Triples. And not only good bowlers, but really polite and well-mannered, and really good kids.
Yeah, Riley from all the dealings I've had with him at AO and having him on the right line, and he's a great fella. He's very polite, very respectful. And there probably helps Jacob Brighton when he comes down for his bowls more than anything, and Josh Leszczynski, his leading has been exemplary.
Another pretty good one here if he stops.
Takes the jack. That is a very good one. Great shooting.
They're happy with it, Val?
They
High
should
fives.
be. They should be. It's not easy to do.
That's a cracking bowl.
If you're Charles, where are you going here, Cyril?
Oh, look, I just think he needs to open it up. I think it's worth having a crack with your first one. Needs to be down there on his backhand. And he can get the front of the first one and then get back to the other one and the jack. But
Just arriving weight.
he hasn't played with much weight today.
He's going to miss high. So now that applies a little bit more pressure on him.
If he can stop and get the tee, it will be handy.
Yep.
Which I think he has.
That might encourage him to
Yeah, definitely.
explode this a little bit.
Yep.
It's not far off the tee. And if you're Jacob, what are you replying with? Are you going back to cover, or are you just putting another one in to really apply the pressure?
He'll either drop one a foot in front or he'll go back to the tee. So Probably I'd be putting the pressure on. The score's looking good. If they can drop one a foot in front and be in the count.
If you can use Reese's.
We just need another foot of weight. He really needs to be attacking this.
That's what he's done.
There he goes.
Bang, bang.
Just one. So one out.
Yeah.
Still has the tee, but that one of Josh's has actually stayed on the rink, right in the back corner.
Well, he just needs to try and add here. He's in a pretty good area here, Val.
Yeah, this is beautiful shooting. And more importantly, he hasn't made it a bigger target.
No, it's yeah, I think he's got a tough. He's gonna probably try and hit it.
I really thought we were losing the camera there with that gust of wind. That was one of the stronger ones we've had.
So back to a more controlled shot. So I tell you what, Val, he's close.
He's extremely close. Oh, that's a mighty effort. Cut one out. Probably still two, yeah.
A really good bowl. He just backed himself. He said, I'm going to draw this. And, yeah, he's cut one out, so...
I know a lot of people at the Moama Bowling Club will be watching on. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with, is Jacob Brighton, as this one comes around.
Look at this.
Has he put it in? He's close, but
quite.
two. And that margin extends to 4 here. 10-6. Very impressive what these two are putting together against the highly credentialed opponents.
Yeah. Mightn't be so warm here, but in other areas it's a bit warmer. I've
Yeah.
a few inquiries the last couple of days about a few clubs starting up Jack Attack programs around the around my area in New South Wales. So I'm sure there'll be many clubs around Australia this time of year as we start to get in that warmer weather. Look at their Jack Attack programs and see if they can get the community involved in the sport and at their club.
Yeah, Jack Attack is so wonderful. Great way to get people involved in this sport, and hopefully we get some weather to be able to do it in Melbourne very soon. It's supposed to be getting warmer,
Yeah.
but you just never know. The wind has been shocking the last few weeks, and
It's usually pretty cool down in Melbourne, except when it gets to the Australian Open tennis and it's 44 degrees.
I cannot wait for that. That is some of my favourite weeks of the year when the tennis rolls around. It's when it's all in our time zone and I don't lose much sleep.
Yep.
Unless the matches go till 2 in the morning.
Yeah, I've got to say I hadn't seen a game of tennis live, but took Joe and the two kids. We done a Great Ocean Road trip a couple of years ago, and we went and watched the day at the AO, and it was fantastic. The two Aussie boys actually played in the final of the doubles. And they
During the day, was it Purcell and Saville?
I think it was, yes. Yeah, it was during the day.
Yeah.
I noticed the bloke 2 rows in front of me. I thought, I know that bloke. It was Leighton Hewitt. So, I don't know much about tennis, but I know who
Well, there
he
you
is.
go. Beautiful. It's a fantastic fortnight. I'm lucky enough to be involved with 2 brilliant Australian Opens, one in tennis and then one in bowls on the Gold Coast every June.
And isn't that just getting bigger and bigger?
It's so good.
The Australian Open, geez, if we had another 3 or 4 greens, I think we could still fill it.
It would fill in 10 minutes.
You see a lot of these kids up there playing in it as well.
Yep.
it's open for all sort of ages. And yeah, what other sport do you get to go and enter? And you could be playing a national champion.
Aaron Sheriff.
Yeah.
And then, it's not, you wouldn't get that in the tennis. There's no chance that anybody could just enter the AO and let alone play someone like a Roger Federer. And that's something, Chris, that, you look at the AO and how many people were there on the Gold Coast. Like, did it blow you away to see the entry numbers and to see how many clubs had filled up and all of that sort of stuff? Like, the participation levels are, skyrocketing.
Yeah, further growth again this year, Val, pushing 4,000, which is quite incredible, really, across the 15-odd clubs. So, certainly a marquee event for bowls in Australia, and it's certainly growing from strength to strength.
Andrew Howie does an unbelievable job running that tournament. Constantly on the phone, and it was a busy year for him last year. AO into World Championships just 2 months later.
Massive. He's he's probably pretty blessed. He's got the man of the people there, Paul Holtzke there to help him out. We know how big of a job and a great job Andrew does. So big shout out to the man of the people, Mr. Holtzke.
Yeah, he is the man of the people.
Fair line here, mate, if we can get back. Just needs a bit of weight. That's where they're coming from.
Victoria have they've just greased the wheels a little bit here. They've started to accelerate away. New South Wales really need an end win to try and get themselves back in this. 4 shots with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ends to play, including this, so 5 afterwards. It's almost getting to a little bit of panic stations here. If it has the legs, it's good, but it doesn't have the legs.
Yeah. Real good opportunity here. Draw another shot and put a real lot of pressure on Charles. He's going to try and play the same bowl.
If he makes this, surely not. He just crashes into...
That's his own bowl. So
yep, to Josh's. So he could afford to do it, and he's probably got it in the count, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not a good-looking head for New South Wales, and
this could be a few.
Yeah, it could be.
So
ideally, he's just got to get around his last one and have the right weight.
I think he's given this a little bit more, but how's his line?
Jeez.
Oh, I gave it
That's going to help.
That was a mighty effort. But one kicked out, 2 kicked out. And we're going to measure.
Yeah, it's that wing one of Charles up against the front 2. Oh. He's going to have to go and remeasure that other one.
He's lost it.
Yeah.
There was a funny moment yesterday. He was skipping the triples, Josh, and he goes to his second. Henry, have we got a tape? Henry goes, yep. He's like, can we please use it?
I think it's only the 2.
4?
4.
Wow. So it was 4 in the end. And all of a sudden, it's a 14-6 buffer. Thought it was going to go down to the wire, but Josh Leszczynski and Jacob Brighton.
Yeah, I called it as 2. I think I need to go to Specsavers. Wasn't great.
Oh, it's all right. It happens to the best of us.
The
cameras are deceiving.
What do they need to do here, Brett, to get back into the game, New South Wales?
Well, it'd be nice to get the jack and change the length of end, but they haven't got that. This is a bit of a shorter end, so this could be an opportunity. But yeah, I actually think if they get the mat, I think they need to go short. I think from the start, Josh has just been playing exceptionally well and putting a lot of pressure.
The only thing he's done wrong are his jack rolls, and he's gotten those down pat.
Yeah, and it's not to say Reese hasn't played well either. It's just Jacob's just, either been on it or just behind and giving himself a really good opportunity. And obviously when New South Wales held the free, Jacob was able to draw that unbelievable bowl, bowl of the tournament. So, yeah, it's got to start from the start, Chris. So a bit of pressure, and you see a really good one there by Reese. So if she can put a bit of pressure on, and, that could be a good chance to get him back in the game, obviously. 8 behind now. There's 5 ends to go. It's going to be pretty hard.
Or time-wise, I think we probably might run out. But we'll see.
Yeah. Also pretty important to keep the score pretty close because of the aggregate with the other game as well. So hopefully they can get a few close and keep it nice and tight. See another pretty good bowl there by Reese. Just goes through a little bit, but close to shot. And what about yourself, Chris? I know you're new to the role and you come from another sport. So have you had the chance to go out and have a game of bowls or go to a club and have a game of jack attack or something?
Yes, I have had a couple, which has been great. Had a wonderful day out at Moorbark a couple of months ago, and also visited Dandenong as well. So a couple of really impressive clubs out in the eastern suburbs there. Moorbark certainly a smaller community club, and Dandenong a much larger club. And
how'd you go, mate? Can we expect to see you in the national team anytime soon?
Or not? Maybe not anytime soon, Cyril, but certainly enjoyed the experience.
Fair effort there by Reese. Just tried to pick that up and just run through a little bit. Yeah, but that's a good thing about our sport too. There's all different age categories as well. So yeah, even from a state level or regional level to a state level to a national level. So for someone like myself who's a really keen bowler and can't quite mix it with the big guns, there's always the over 40s, and soon enough, before I know it, it'll be over 60s. A few different categories there for everyone to get involved and playing. See Jacob down here on the forehand. He's on a pretty good line. He crashes into Josh's bowl. So here's an opportunity, Chris. So if Charles can just come down here and get a little touch on the jack over to Reese's, he could
pick up a couple.
Pick up a few, yeah. So he's not a mile away here. Yeah, great bowl. So got the shot, but if he had got the jack with that, he could have made 4. So keep plugging away at that. You're going to need a couple of big multiples. Yeah, Jacob likes this one. He's following it down. Oh, he's ended up in a really good spot there too. So sort of takes that trail out a little bit. Jacob just having a good look here. He won't want to play a shot to give him a chance to make a big total. Probably just looking at how many down he is. He's got fair bit of room there to draw second wood. So he's just analysing the head and saying, rightio, what should we play? What's best? So I know he's pretty keen here. He looks like he wants to play the backhand and look for the bowl. Need a bit of weight to get under that front one. So he lines up, and he's going to have a look for this shot bowl. So he's going to use a fair bit of weight to get under.
Jacob Brighton.
What an effort. Wow.
He gave that every opportunity.
Certainly did.
Forgot that there was another bowl.
The bat then.
You're going to back him in here to get another one.
Would make the contest even more interesting.
Oh, he's just got to slow down. He's got a bit of weight on this.
Just a little bit quick. But they're on the board again.
One back.
14-7. 4 ends to play.
So Reese is, I would like to see her play short here and change it right up, but it's just like they're going to keep it at the same sort of length.
Yeah, try and stunt the momentum. Having said that, when they have gone shorter, Victoria have been pretty strong.
Yeah, I would like to have seen her bring the mat right up and the jack near the tee and, see if they could just change it up a little bit. Hopefully Reese can get them off to a good start here. Yeah, not a bad starter. So Josh has given her an opportunity here. Let her in. Good correction here by Josh. So tell you what, if his first one hasn't been close, he's always corrected with his second one. He's right on the jack here. So Reese coming down, just trying to make a little bit of contact. Wind's just holding it out there.
Just when every time those big gusts are coming, my heart sinks because I feel like one of those cameras is going to go. But so far, touch wood.
Yeah. Good news is it's meant to calm down a little bit, down to about 50
kilometres an hour.
Yeah, tomorrow. So
Calm down, yeah. We see some big weight next door. That flew, almost took out the legs of one of the bowlers. Wow. That was a big drive next door. Victoria leading 19-5 in that match next door. Seen a few drives cause havoc over the years, and I wasn't at BA at the time, but I've heard the story of Ryan Bester's drive at the BPL that almost broke Joe Edwards' shin.
I remember that. Yeah, I think they had to get Linny Armitage off
Yep.
the bench.
Yeah, she. I think she was doing her TV hosting duties. Then had played in full makeup and everything. Put the Steamers kit on, and then went back and did her hosting duties after that.
Yeah, she done a
Impressive.
fantastic job too. Joe Edwards, one of the best female bowlers I think that I've ever seen, and yeah. Certainly lost nothing with Lindsay coming in, though. She
No.
played awesome.
Oh, we know the quality that Lindsay Clark possesses. She's a superstar. Only at the national stage now, no more internationals. That final match of hers going off into the sunset was absolutely sensational. 10-minute warning has been given. New South Wales on the verge of a possible defeat here. Victoria have lifted and lifted well.
So this will make it interesting, actually. New South Wales was in second spot going into this round ahead of Queensland. So we've, with the Vics taking both rinks off New South Wales, it looks that way. Could open it right back up again.
Yep, it looked like it was going to be a New South Wales-Queensland final, but might be a Victorian team joining them. Who knows?
Could come down to the wire. Could come down to the last game today, maybe.
We'll have all those results for you at the end of the day, just to summarise where things are at. Stay tuned to Bowls Australia's social media platforms. Tonight we'll give you the live streaming schedule as well as who is playing in the finals. Jacob Brighton doesn't want to crack too much of an egg on this.
Wow, he got lucky then. If he gets that fat, he's down a few.
And that's a 3.
So Lady Luck on their side that time, but they've played extremely well.
17-7, 8 minutes to go, 3 ends to play. Probably again going to fall one short. But to get through 16 ends or 15 ends in an hour and a half is quite impressive. That easily, mate, like the AO time limit of 2 hours 15, you're easily getting in 18 ends.
Yeah.
So it's not as if they're playing slowly. Again, Josh Leszczynski nails the jack roll.
He's got a down pat now, and he has been extremely impressive today.
It's because he went to pegs. Can guarantee you. Or goes to pegs.
Good to see one good person come out of there.
There's a few.
One athlete.
Oh, one athlete, yeah. For sure. There's actually been a few. Dustin Fletcher, 400 gamer for Essendon.
Yeah.
Trent Cotchin, 3-time premiership captain at Richmond. He has gone toe-to-toe with someone who is performing extremely well at national level in Reese Young, Josh Leszczynski, and it's been so impressive. And Reese hasn't bowled badly at all. She's been wonderful.
It's been a great quality exhibition from the two leads under the very difficult conditions. What a shot by Reese. They're not going to give up. They're going to keep trying their hearts out.
That was a hard shot to nail as well because the wind was coming in hard during that. You probably hear it in the effects mic, which are just our microphones.
So let's see if she can repeat the dose. A very hard shot.
Bit fortunate.
We've now got 5 minutes left, bowlers.
5-minute warning. The wind is coming in harder and harder. Reese Young holding 2. And New South Wales, they need to try and get a big score if they're any shot at coming back here. And Jacob has pushed this one towards the ditch. And it stays on. Charles Grebert needed it to run. Pivotal end for Victoria because they can probably, if they can score a 2 here, definitely can't lose it. We don't think we'll get another end in after the next, but you never know.
Really good effort here. What a shot.
Probably need to net themselves a, what, you'd say a 5, Brett, if they're any chance.
They're holding...
That's 3.
Yeah, holding 3 at the moment.
Jacob Brighton's going to launch. Ooh. Oh, he's cleared his own out. It's almost done their job for them. So this is an interesting opportunity here. So this is for a 4th. That's great awareness from Reese Young. She knows that Charles is very quick on the mat, so she was quick with her instructions then, and before he could get the delivery down. What's he got?
Sit that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, big effort.
So that's a 3. And I don't think we're going to be getting another end in after this with the time limit. So Victoria, they will hold on. It's 17-10. With 2 minutes left on the clock. So that's more than a full count required. So the Vics will win. But New South Wales try and get any sort of respectability back into this scoreboard because shots up could matter.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll be looking to try and get a 2 or a 3 this end, try and narrow the margin a bit.
So both of you gentlemen be around for the finals tomorrow?
Yep, I will be. So, yeah, looking forward to it. I think I'm doing one stream with you tomorrow, Val.
Believe you are.
What a cracking start by Reese. Brilliant bowl. So, yeah, one stream tomorrow and, a few meetings with Mick Devine and Andrew Comley. And, hand out some awards at the end of the day and see who's picked in the All-Australian team, which is going to be very exciting.
So, yep, you, Warren Griffin, and myself will be on the final session of the day tomorrow. Andrew Cromley and Matt Latobe to join me next for Victoria, Queensland, Riley Garrick and Harry Coleman in singles action.
Brilliant.
How have you enjoyed your debut on Ringside Live, Chris Evans?
Yeah, loved it. Thanks, Val. It's great to look out over the green and see all the different coloured uniforms from the different states. It's been a superb event so far, so well done to everyone involved.
It's been great.
It's a time called, Val.
Yep.
So this is it.
So last few bowls coming up. To get through 15 ends in this time is quite impressive.
It's always good to finish on a good note too, though, like so you can take that into the next game. So
Exactly.
Reese is...
Enjoy your lunch rather than not really want to eat it.
Yeah, and you want to, take some momentum into the next game. You're not feeling great. You've been beat, so if you can get the last couple of ends up and...
Momentum is everything. Saw it at the indoors. There was a set where Colin Litfin had stitched it up. He couldn't lose the set.
Yep.
It was up by 6 with more than with an end to play. And they ended up rolling the final end of the set, which they didn't need to do. Tristan Smallacombe won it, but it gave him all the momentum for the rest of the match, and he ended up beating him.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of a disaster.
Yep. It can happen in bowls.
Yep.
And, it looks as though the New South Wales team could hold 3 shots here, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
So if they can hold a 3 or keep that 3, get it to 17-13, they'd be pretty happy with that, considering where they've come from.
I think so. Well, that's probably another one.
But did you see the wind, how that pushed that away?
That'll give the viewers a fair idea of what it's like out there.
That was absolutely insane. It pushed it against its bias.
Now, the fact that he can't lose this game, it'll be interesting to see if he really goes this and runs at the shot bowl.
Yep, I think he might be.
No, he's drawing. I like that. Think about the big picture, the team, and
Yep.
if you can get second wood, it's a fantastic effort.
And you know what? He's just pulled up. All right, we'll wait and see what happens. 2 bowls to come for Jacob Brighton, 1 more for Charles Grebert. Going for the draw again here, Jacob Brighton. He's running in behind it.
So what do you do here if you're Charles? Do you look for the bowl? So Reese has pinpointed out. He's going to have a look for it.
Well, you might as well, because that'd mean they're 4 up. He's going for it, Charles Grebert.
He's a bit on the tight side.
So Jacob Brighton now, what does he do? Does he try and split this open? Because if he pushes that jack back, that's at least a couple.
I think he'll give it a go. You just got to be careful. If he's on the wide side and sort of gets his own and goes out the head, he could be 4 or 5 down. But they've won the game. Certainly think it's worth a look. So that's a big question. Does he draw second or does he have a look for it?
As I think, this is the final bowl of the contest. Or miss out on one end. Victoria will win. It's a matter of how much by. Jacob Brighton has been superb.
I think he's back to the draw.
So we've had a rogue scoreboard come onto the rink. The wind has just pushed it on. He's gone for the draw here, Jacob Brighton. And
Not quite.
probably 2 down. It is 2. So they drop 5 on the last 2 ends, but they still take a 17-12 victory. Josh Leszczynski and Jacob Brighton overcome Charles Grebert and Reese Finn Young. They were brilliant throughout the entirety of the contest. Really difficult conditions, but they will go through and be boosted by that for the rest of the competition. Chris Evans, thank you very much for joining me on Ringside Live. It's been an absolute pleasure being here for your debut.
Thanks, Val. Fantastic game, and look forward to the rest of the championships.
Certainly, and Brett Hughes, well done on all the work that you've been doing to get this up and running behind the scenes, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you later on in the tournament.
Looking forward to it, Val. Thanks.
Victoria get the job done 17-12 over New South Wales. We've got about 40 minutes up until our next session, which will be singles between Riley Garrick and Harry Coleman. Queensland and Victoria. We'll catch you then.